Julie Cole, good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Bob.
And thank you again, by the way, so much for the stickers you made for my new grandchild, Henry. That was so sweet, the Mabel's
Are you
labels.
kidding me? Hello?
Oh my gosh,
Henry.
you're amazing. So I'm going to slap that on the stroller that I have put together.
Excellent. Congratulations. That's really exciting.
I'm
You know,
still
they say
missing
your
parts, but you'll
grandchildren
be
are
fine.
your reward for not killing your own, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's a great way of putting it. So, your household just went through the unwanted visitor of COVID-19. Lots of families dealing with this throughout the holiday season. So, what lessons did you learn?
Yeah, we went through it, and there were lessons that I learned through this. To name a few, the first one was that there's no point in pointing fingers. I felt like as soon as we had the first positive test around here, all of a sudden my kids got into like trying to figure out who patient zero was. It became a proper witch hunt at my house. And there's really, really no point. We were following all the protocols.
I feel bad for calling my wife patient zero all last week.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, like, I get wanting to mitigate risk, and that's why you might want to know the source. But if you're trying to find the source just to place blame and point fingers, there's no point in doing that. So that was my lesson number one. Lesson number two, that was a bit of a shocker for me, was that, okay, these kids have spent the last couple of years being trained to be afraid of this virus, right? They missed out on school, they missed out on sporting opportunities. So when it did hit our family, there was a little bit of a hysteria that I was not prepared for. Like, I don't want our family to die. I don't want us all to end up in the hospital. And with that also came a bit of hypochondria. With every sneeze, it became, I've got COVID, you know? And I actually found it was a little bit like, you know, when your kid has lice or you hear somebody has lice and then you suddenly get itchy.
Right.
Like, apply that theory to COVID symptoms. So
Same thing was happening
a lot. Yeah, that happened a lot. The other thing that was a real shocker for me was that there's this mandate to isolate from your family when they have COVID.
Yeah,
as a parent, how do you not cuddle and comfort your sick kids? I didn't find that was realistic at all. I found that I would rather get sick than not be able to cuddle my kids, right or wrong. That was just how it was. So it could also explain why I've been vomited on so many times in my life, because I am just naturally going to cuddle the kids. So I think that is a really tricky one for parents. I certainly struggled with that.
Yeah. How did the kids do, by the way? Like, what were the symptoms
you know
like?
What? They did well. They did well. You know, the symptoms weren't too bad. We managed. And I did actually, Bob, kind of want to kick it old school. And just with so many kids, I felt like just doing the old-fashioned 1970s chickenpox party. Now, I'm not saying,
those.
You know, remember those days? No, I'm not saying, before everybody starts saying, oh, Julie recommended. I am not recommending that. I'm not
Julie's recommending a huge COVID-19 party.
Right? That is not what's happening. I'm saying that I was waving the white flag.
But that was a thing in the 70s with chickenpox. So all the kids would get it.
Well, and the reason why I kind of felt that way, in the end, we did do the daunting task of isolating siblings from each other, which is difficult with this many kids. But part of the reason why I was tempted was because, you know, if you have a kid and they have symptoms and then 5 days later, another kid, and then 5 days later, another kid, and then 5 days, like we could have been in lockdown for 2 months. And, you know, if we were going to survive COVID, I'm not sure we would have survived each other for that long. So, you know, those were basically the things that I've learned, that, you know, the pointing fingers,
But it's tough with kids too, because they've got so much, well, like adults, so much going on. I know one of your kids had a driving test too, so did not want to miss that.
Well, that's it, right? With so much activity and so much going on, and everybody's got their own interests. Yeah, like my 16-year-old was like, I don't want to get COVID because I don't want to miss my driving test, because then who knows how long I'm going to have to wait again, right? So you've got all these competing interests as well. So we got through it this time around.
Glad to hear that.
You know,
and hopefully we're all going to be through this thing.
Have been dealing with it.
Yeah, we're all going to get through this thing. But you wrote a great blog on this too. We're going to link up all your socials at chch.com and other great parenting tips. But glad all is well in your home.
Yeah,
and thanks
again,
for joining us in your home.
Congratulations on baby Henry, and I will get these over to you pronto before he starts losing things.
Thanks, Julie. Have a great weekend.